Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Betty Lou with Rise and Reframe Physical Therapy. Tonight I'm here with Shay, and we're going to be talking about the nerve pain that he's been having coming from his low back all the way down the foot. So, kind of walk us back to when Lisa made you come in here.
Yes.
And how that kind of started.
So yeah, I was having some lower back pain, wasn't quite sure, wasn't brought on by anything specific and couldn't figure it out. You had worked with my daughter, had great success in doing that. So I was like, okay, let's try this. It's a known quantity, somebody that can do something really well, knowledgeable, and go from there. So, and then, then we started our sessions and started getting better.
And so, circling back to not really knowing where things started, what were some of the avenues that you could have took versus what we ended up doing?
So I did go and see a orthopedist to try to see what was going on, and they prescribed meds just as typical. I didn't really want to completely go down that road, so I was trying to figure out what else can I do to get better. And that's where, they did say, okay, go to PT. And that's where Lisa was like, hey, why don't you go see Betty Lou and go from there. So.
Absolutely. And we know that you have some prior history on your left side, but can you kind of tell us what?
So I had my ACL replaced on my left, and I've had on my right knee meniscus cleanup and scar tissue. So I've had issues on both.
And one of the main things that we first noticed when you came in on your eval day was how much you stand on the right side, but how much we've neglected the left side.
Yes.
And once we started making that shift over bringing awareness back to the left, we started to see some change.
Correct. Yeah. I want to say one of my legs was quite a bit shorter than the other one when you evaluated that.
Yeah. Even in your calf size, right? You were like, oh, I didn't even realize I have a calf over here and half a calf over here.
100%.
Yeah. Well, you've been really consistent with your homework at home and also some lifestyle changes too. We've kind of talked about what's going in the body and how that's going to register. Today, we're going to do a little bit of the radio frequency along the low back and top of the hip, and then we'll also bring that down the leg just because we're having some of that shooting pain down the leg today. Do you have any questions for me or any last thoughts?
Oh.
All right, you ready to get into it? Perfect.
One thing I have noticed, so in this position, one of my stretches in the morning, I go
up.
You do
your,
that pinches really bad on my left side.
Okay. So let's come. How many reps are you doing?
I can barely get anything in the morning on that. Okay. I mean, even right now, me going right there is about all I can do.
Right.
On the left-hand side right there.
And this is where you have a hinge, and then this is where things stop moving. And so let's just test it right now. Within the range that you're comfortable going, let's try for 20 and see how it feels. I know that
Go up and hold for 20?
You're going to do 20 little reps. Okay. Up and down, up and down, up and down. And down. Breathing. You're at 5. Are we increasing in pain?
A little bit. And this is way more than I can go in the morning.
In the morning, yeah. You're at 10. How is it feeling? Better, worse, same?
Same.
Okay, keep going. $16, $17, $18, $19, $20. Better, worse, or same throughout that?
Maybe a little bit better towards the end.
Okay.
But
and obviously in the morning, it's going to take a lot more than 20.
Okay. So even if I can only get up a little bit, just start doing those reps.
Yeah.
Too. Okay.
Yeah. So the initial pinch that you're feeling is movement trying to come from a place that doesn't want to move initially.
Okay.
Okay, so how I would approach it in the morning is maybe doing your hip hook both sides,
Okay.
quad release.
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing any belly releasing in the morning?
No.
Okay, no worries.
Okay.
Just curious. I'm just trying to I just want to put the pieces together for you of what I know that you're doing. Then go into your extension.
Okay.
Goal would be 20, right?
Okay.
Or that transition of like hurting to not hurting.
Okay.
Looking for that space and kind of keeping track for yourself too. Like if we can keep a log of like it took me 25 versus it took me 15, like that's good to know.
Okay.
Then rolling over and doing some of your nerve flossing,
Mm-hmm.
or actually rolling over, getting your soft tissue through your glute and
Mhm.
hamstring, then nerve flossing.
Yeah, that's normally what I do is roll
Perfect.
out and
Yes.
then floss.
Perfect.
Okay.
So start with the
Start from
belly
the
stuff.
front.
Mm-hmm.
Start from the front stuff. Get that
Yes.
loosened up, and then go back. Touch
Yes.
it back. Okay.
Yes. Breathing throughout for sure. And then we'll see
Hold
how.
my breath the whole time.
I mean, you might. You might. I gotta remind you to breathe all the time.
I know.
Just wanted to throw it out there. Okay, relax wherever you're comfortable. Okay, so we're gonna go through the radio frequency first. We're gonna heat up that glute and low back. Protein shake to start the day?
Yes, I did.
Good. How many frappuccinos?
2,
How many teas?
4.
How many waters?
Well, that is my water.
We need a 2 and 2 there. We need a 2 and 2. I'm going to bring this over onto my right side too, just because I can see where your hinge point is.
Mm-hmm.
So we might as well make sure that this right side isn't overtoning and pulling on the left.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. Radio frequency right across the hinge point, working to increase mobility, blood flow, decrease tone into these lower lumbar pieces. Hinging is never what we want. We want each piece to move almost like a roller coaster would, or like a centipede. Each piece moves independently and then is able to stabilize together. But once we have a hinge point, it's super easy for disc, nerve, tissues, the joint itself, the facets of the joint to become irritated. And that's when you start seeing all sorts of things pop up. It's different for every person, how it's going to manifest. But that's where we start to see our typical facet syndromes, pinched nerves, compressed discs, etc. When in reality, we want each piece to kind of tick over by itself as we're moving into flexion and extension, which requires a lot of muscle mind connection, good breath work, and just body awareness so that you can move one piece while stabilizing another. And that takes a lot of time and practice. So, this is the radio frequency machine. We are penetrating deep into the layers of the tissue with frequencies and heat to help open up the tissue, improve blood flow, and kind of break up any of the adhesions that may be in there. Also helps lower pain. So we're reducing the pain signals. So you're looking at the prongs that are producing the frequencies through the skin, and the red light on top helps improve cellular structure on a surface level. But as we're moving, we have a barrier between the wand and the skin, which has minerals in it, a sea salt mineral, and that also helps us conduct heat faster between the wand itself and the skin so that that heat can deeply penetrate effectively. How are we feeling?
Good. The over on that left side, down right on the outside of the hip, I can definitely feel it over there.
We'll get into that pitchy spot. Are you using any ice or heat at home?
I'm trying to go into the jacuzzi about every other day.
Oh, cool.
Should I go every day?
As long as it feels good, you're welcome to do it as often as you want, and then follow it up with some of your stability exercises.
Okay.
So, like the bridges or your lateral walks,
Mm-hmm.
um, things
So,
like that, core work. Yeah.
so by loosening it up and then going into some movement to,
hmm
okay.
You're sandwiching to help the body understand where you want it to be. So you get in, so say at the end of the day, right, you're pretty tired, you're having
Yeah.
some pain, you get in the jacuzzi, that deep warmth penetrates through the skin.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in the jacuzzi, you can even do some of your flossing techniques.
I definitely have been.
Ah, very
Yeah.
nice. See, you know how to take care of yourself. That's good. Um,
But then post that, trying to do some movements. So, like you
yes.
said, lateral walks or,
Any of the glute bridging that we've been doing,
okay.
that like the isometrics for hamstrings,
Mm-hmm.
adductors, your core, the big three,
Mm-hmm.
your bird dog, side plank, and isometric core.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. If you just want to narrow it down to those three, I'm totally fine with that because
Okay.
that's going to help stabilize across your pelvis, mid and low back,
Mm-hmm.
side, body, all of it. It's
Okay.
going to get your shoulders in there. But the goal is that we bring down the pain level,
Mm-hmm.
make space to move,
Okay.
and then move appropriately so that our body understands the difference between being super tight and irritated, super long and relaxed, and how to be in that middle ground. And that's why it's the same exact sandwiching that you're doing in the morning, right? So we start with soft tissue work,
Mm-hmm.
then we move into nerve mobility, then we move into stability work. Now, at the end of the day, you're jacuzziing, which is taking away like the soft tissue work. It's doing that for you. It's more of a passive treatment.
Okay.
Then you're doing the nerve mobility already by flossing your leg in and out while you're in the water. Then you get out and you stabilize.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, heating up. Is this pressure okay?
Mm-hmm.
Not irritating your spot?
Nope.
Um, does your tool bag sit on your waist right here? Or do you often wear one of those or no?
I not anymore,
Okay.
but yes, it does.
Have you noticed a difference on the days when you wear that? If you're like breaking down or tearing down, whatever, putting stuff up and you're wearing that, have you noticed a difference in if you have more pain that day?
Mm,
You might want to unbuckle your belt when you're sitting in the car
okay.
because it comes around your
Mm-hmm.
pelvis,
Yeah.
and I think it's giving you a neural compression as well.
Okay.
Um, in those positions when you're sitting and compressed the most, because I know you have some long drives,
Mm-hmm.
that undoing your belt in the car will take away the pressure.
Okay.
Testing that theory is always a good option.
I will try that.
It's kind of like it's actually been coming up more often that I've been seeing men similarly with some sort of nerve pinch, and it's coming from the belt or sitting on their wallet is kind of how people end up with piriformis syndrome. And you can simply fix it by just taking your wallet out of your back pocket or undoing your belt and having less compression on the tissues. Our tissues aren't meant to. It's like when you sleep on your arm wrong and your arm goes dead.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what we're doing with these other objects, just a
Hmm.
different area. Where are we at? Oh, okay. All right, I'm going to clean you up just a little bit and then we're going to move down into the lower leg. Okay, so we're going to trace out the nerve with the radio frequency. Nerves are like little children with tantrums, but they can get stuck anywhere in the chain, anywhere. And the sciatic nerve is is the longest nerve from the base of the spine all the way down the leg. And even though it breaks into its own little nerves that do their each independent functions, gotta make sure that they have a free range and they're not getting stuck anywhere in the chain. As long as you know your anatomy, it's good to go. Creating change at the level of the spine with the pieces independently. Creating change at the level of the nervous system and the disc, tissues along the way. It's never just one thing, especially, it's honestly a domino effect. And pain is just a signal telling us that we need to do something different. You've got to address all the pieces. Because even though you can have a diagnosis of, oh, I have a pinched nerve, or oh, I have a disc, or oh, they don't know what's wrong with me. It's it's always going to be a combination because our body doesn't just function as one diagnosis. It's a lot to think about and a lot to do, but we get it done. Especially if you have a flow in mind and you understand the process of why we're doing all these individual steps. And then the goal, which is in the near future, is that you graduate from therapy and you join the gym floor with Lisa and Sarah. And then starting to progress the functional movements that we talked about in here, like your hinge and your squat,
Hmm.
the single leg balance, and then making that harder and more challenging and testing the system, having fun with it. Do you think you have enough lumbar support in your truck?
Hmm.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you asked that, and so I pushed my lumbar support up even higher than what I had it previously.
Do
Try
you
to give
like
me.
it?
It's okay at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt that I was maybe trying to push a little bit more to maybe almost over exaggerate
Mm,
to be able to go, okay, hey,
understandable. Definitely using the pelvic tilt,
mm-hmm,
rocking the back and forth and finding those butt bones.
mm-hmm,
And like I would turn, I mean, since you're in a new phase, right? We're in like a new chapter here. So something that you can do to make sure that you're in a good position with that
mm-hmm,
is turn it all the way off. Sit up on your chair where you feel like you have a good stacked posture with your rib cage and your pelvis, how we've practiced before.
mm-hmm,
Do your pelvic tilt to where you feel your butt bones right underneath you. You're not extended, you're not super tucked under. You're right
yeah,
on top of your bucket. And then bring the lumbar support to you to where you feel supported enough that you can kind of relax. And
okay,
the chair is now holding you in the posture in which you originally found.
okay, I'll try that.
And see how it goes. Because even though we want to have enough muscle to hold ourselves up in a chair, if you have a long drive, that's not what we need to be worrying about in the moment. Yes, we should always have like a little bit of a squeeze in our lower belly um, to have abdominal tone, which helps us hold ourselves up. But it's important to have a supportive surface, and that comes from our chair in the car. I'm feeling the different surfaces and trying to see if I feel any areas that are a little more compacted or not absorbing. Like right here is a lot less warm than right here, and then all the way down. So just looking to make sure that everything is about the same temperature that I can feel through my hand, because I'm a thermometer on the inside, but um, to the touch, making sure that everything is relatively even. So that way, when we do our nerve glides, and our hinging movements in a second. We haven't left anything undone. Sometimes things start to present themselves as the tissue starts to warm up, an increase or a decrease in tone, and then you'll feel like a wave underneath. And then that's pointing you in the right direction of where we need to be in the next spot. Just a little more love in a couple areas, and then we're good. Getting a little bit of that IT band as we cross over the thigh too. Just because it's a very tendinous area. It's super, lots and lots of fascial layers. It's really hard to change an IT band. You can affect the TFL a lot easier, but this deep heat does a good job on those IT bands. We're not crushing it. We're not trying to stretch something that is meant to be stabilizing us, but still giving it enough time to heal, and some warmth in there is always nice. How do you feel right here?
Fine. Good.
Okay. Pain coming down?
Not in this position.
Okay.
It's usually right about there.
And when you get into that position, what do you feel?
It pulling outside laterally coming down across the top of my foot right there.
Okay, let's come down a little bit. We still want a little bit of a flexion because that's what's going to tether the nerve, right? You can support the thigh if you'd like. Does that feel too close
No,
to you?
it's fine.
Okay. At the bottom position, I want you to tilt your toes down and in.
Okay.
That's going to give you even more of a pull here on this nerve.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you come up, normal flexion, pushing through the heel. And down and swoop the nerve. So if our nerves were like floss and we had a piece on the back of our leg, from the back of our spine, up the back of the leg, through the back, bottom of the foot to the toe, here our floss is really tight. And as we come down, our floss is loose. And that's what we're doing with the nerve.
Okay.
Now the nerves that come through the front of the leg,
Mm-hmm.
here, as we turn that foot in, we're tensioning this one. And then when we're at the top, now this piece of floss is loose.
Okay. So right here, I feel it pulling or pinching on the outside of my hip.
Mm-hmm. What happens if we roll the hips towards me?
About the same.
Better or same?
Yeah, about the same.
Okay.
Doesn't hurt like when you pushed up underneath.
Hey. Sorry. Okay, so pelvic position doesn't change. But if we but say we don't want our leg to be that high, so that we can still get the benefit of the nerve glide.
Yeah.
But not the pinch in the hip, right? So you can use either strong heavy band or a stretch strap to support the leg for you.
Okay.
And then move through that a couple more times. And we'll see if we're able to get up higher. Yep, and toes curled down and in. Good. And up. And what happens if we drop this foot down? Breathing. Good. Pushing through that heel. And back down. How are you feeling?
Definitely tight as I go up. I can actually point more, but when I really work to push through my heel like this, that's when I get it pulling across the front.
Okay. So as you flex the foot, you feel tension here.
Yes.
So that's muscle tension.
Okay.
That's what's painful for you most of the day?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's do 5 more and then we'll address some of that.
Okay.
Perfect. Relax down, straight leg. Do me a favor and rock your pelvis back and forth a couple times before we even get down here. Rock and roll. Rock and roll. Arching the low back, tucking and arching. Ducking and arching. Okay, so back to the spine, right? The movement at each individual piece is what's grabbing onto these nerves.
Mm-hmm.
So I was originally going to start with some tissue decompression.
Mm-hmm.
How does it feel when I'm pulling through this guy?
Tender right there.
Okay, that's normal tenderness.
Okay.
What about up here? Fine?
Yeah, not too bad.
Okay, so we're not even going to waste our time doing the tissue decompression of your lower leg
Okay.
because we know that moving your sacral joints and that low lumbar, L5, S1, S2, those things that go down there, that's what's going to create your change.
Okay.
Okay. So, again, we're addressing the nerves, but we're addressing where they're coming from. Okay. Let's do some core tension. All right. Because once we are rocking that position and we open up these pathways and we get rid of this pain from here and we move it back up, we're trying to centralize that pain as much as possible, get it to come back up towards the spine and then out of the body. If you ever are doing something and it's creating more and more and more and more down here, that's not the right direction.
So stop.
Stop. Come back into the spine.
Okay.
Pelvic tilts, rocking. Then we're going to brace.
Okay.
So right now, in this position, here, I can take this from you. What do you feel? What level are you at? Give me a percentage or a number. Give me your thoughts.
I'll say that I'm at a 3. How about that?
Okay. How far down the leg are you feeling it right now?
Mainly my hip. If I start moving too much, I'll probably feel it down lower.
Okay. So laying here right now, we went from top of the foot to just to the hip.
Yep.
Perfect. We love that. So your body really enjoys the flexion extension moment at the pelvis and also reps at the lumbar spine. Okay.
Okay.
Circle back to that anytime you start feeling something.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's try to lock it in.
Okay.
We're going to exhale. We're going to do our brace. You are fairly neutral already. I wouldn't say you need to tuck much more from the glutes. You're doing pretty good down here. Let's drop this rib cage down. So you're tensioning towards the hip, opposite rib to hip. You're looking for that hug down, but our pelvic floor is going to pull up into our belly button. So this is good. I like that we're not poking up anymore. We've dropped down here. Let's check right on the inside of the pelvis for that low pelvic floor tone. Good. Is that painful?
No.
Okay. Both sides coming together. Meeting here. Good. Couple breaths just above your tension. Not big enough to lose the tension, but big enough to get some oxygen in. As you're creating all this pressure, is anything changing in the hip, leg, low back?
That feels about the same, maybe a little bit better.
Okay. My hands are really just here so that he remembers where his abdomen is and doesn't start getting a bunch of extra squeeze. Yep, that was nice. Little inward movement and then relax out of it. How is it feeling in the leg?
Fine.
Okay.
Good. Yeah.
Now that we've stabilized in a neutral position, we're gonna just activate some of these cross body patterns.
Okay.
Okay. Hands up in the air like you just don't. Okay. Do you like this position? You can go for it. Let me know how it starts. Let's go for it. Find that belly button down and in. Breathing. Going into our isometric dead bug with a little bit of resistance. So we have arms pushing into me. We have legs pulling up into me. Belly button is flat to the spine. Never pushing towards the ceiling, always coming into the body. And pelvic floor pulls up. We're not shoving pressure down and out of our sacrum. Should never be forcing down that way. And relax. Good. Pulling that pressure in. Good. Every exhale we get squeezier and tighter. Squeezier and tighter. Inhales. Do not lose our tension. Check your pelvic tilt. 3. Give me a little more pressure on this left, what is this, right leg? There you go. 5, 4, 3, belly button breathe. 2, 1. If you're ever in a situation where things start to get crazy and you're starting to feel that pain one way or the other, we're reverting back to the motions that feel good, flexion and extension. So in a seated position, we're going to work on that pelvic tilt. So it's a flare of the pelvis, and then it's an undertuck. And as you get used to this movement, you're going to limit the amount of motion that's coming from your thoracic spine and rib cage. We're not pop locking and dropping it through our rib cage, okay? Just our low back. Flexion and extension. Good. Yep, and you're rocking those tailbones. Good. And then your neutral is right on top of the butt bones where you can feel like you're sitting straight down. So for instance, this is kind of what I would want you to mock in the truck. Then bring that lumbar spine or the lumbar support to fill this gap right here.
Okay.
And then you can release about, 60%.
Okay.
And then
how about position forward or backward? Does that usually sit further back?
So the further you go back,
the
less your core is going to stabilize you.
Okay.
You're going to be leaning into that chair.
Correct.
Leaning back, we have compression, tissue tightening, tissue lengthening over a long period of time. What's going to start screaming at you? The front of your hip and down the side of your leg. And then what do? You stick it out even further. And what do? You lean away.
Yes.
So what's happening? We're creating more length and a longer area of tissue expansion.
So
versus getting upright into your body, sitting on your hips, stacking your ribs to your pelvis, finding that neutral position, and then letting the chair support you in that.
Okay.
Yeah. If the leg still is coming after you, roll up a towel, a t-shirt, or a hoodie, pop it underneath your leg and kind of close that gap.
Oh, so up this way a little bit. Okay.
And see how it does.
Okay.
Also checking to see how wide or narrow you are. So then if you're like, meh, I can't get my leg to stay straight, then you take that rolled up towel and you stick it on the side of you.
On the outside.
And you have now a bumper to rest against versus your.
Okay.
While you're sitting here, find your neutral. Okay, so now that we've found our neutral position in sitting, we are going to work on a little bit of abduction and adduction reversals to help stabilize across the pelvis in a seated position. You've done this on the floor. We're working our way up, right?
Okay.
So we have the ball and we have the band, right? And maybe we might even need a little tighter of a band, but for today's purposes, we'll stick with this one.
Okay.
So up tall, finding your neutral tilt, making sure you're not sitting underneath and tucking the tailbone too much, but that you're right on those two bony bits underneath your glutes. We're going to brace and squeeze, pull up the pelvic floor, belly button tight, squeeze in the ball, hold for 5. Breathing still. Now push out into the band. Good. We'll get a little bit of arch activation, big toes stay down. Still breathing, still activating our abdomen. And it doesn't have to be a full 100% squeeze here. Just enough to support your spine. We're not lifting anything heavy, so no need to go all the way up to 100%. And squeeze. Yep, try not to, that was a good fix. So try not to let your heels turn in. I want to make sure that our hip, knee, and ankle are all aligned with the foot. The squeeze is where you might find yourself under tucking, and the abduction is where you might find yourself flaring. So just know that and check yourself in between. Go ahead and switch. Good. So because we're using abductors right now, we're using that outer glute. What happened to your feet? It's easy for our pelvis to be like, oh, okay, I need to open. And then we lose our low back.
Okay.
And squeeze. Good. You can count, you can use breaths. Go ahead and switch. You can use a timer if you're really starting to get crazy and working up from 5 seconds to maybe 30-second holds. We'll get one more set in. How is this feeling around low
That's
back,
feeling
hip?
fine.
Okay. Nothing
Yep.
radiating down?
Nope.
Perfect. Go ahead and squeeze again. Good posture, good breath work. This is something that you can easily do on your own too. Like say you're really in a bind or something's grabbing you and you know that you're looking for some stability when you feel like why can't I hold myself up, or why do I feel like I'm kind of floating, or I don't really know where I'm at in space. Those odd feelings of just not stable. You can simply use your hands and get a double fist squeeze here and then use your palms and pushing out against your hands.
Okay.
You'll be in a slight hinged position for this because now you're reaching for your knees, making sure that you don't drop into a flare with that low back. Okay.
Okay.
Nice release up here. That was good. Okay. Any questions with this one?
Mm-mm.
Awesome. Let's go over a hinge and then we'll be done for today. From here, we're going to try to booty bump the wall.
Okay.
Finding our pelvic neutral,
Mm-hmm.
up tall through our spine, ribs to hips, all of the connection pieces that we typically talk about, even a little bit of a shoulder back squeeze, okay, and a tall neck. We're going to sit back until our butt bumps the wall, and we're going to squeeze our glutes to come away from the wall. Good. Nice. Flat back down. When you touch the wall, do you feel a pull in your hamstrings at all?
On my left, not on my right.
Okay.
Yeah, because I feel it pulling on my left hamstring.
Does it go beyond the knee?
No, it pulls right to the knee.
Okay. And then squeeze the glutes to come up. So let your glutes be the lever that pushes your hips forward before you get a lockout of the knee or you try to lift with your head.
Okay.
And then this moves first. Yep. And that finishes last. Good. Push back. Squeeze. Good. Couple more. Is this movement irritating or not?
A little bit on my left, coming down the outside,
So
just a
now,
little bit.
okay. Check your pelvis to
Mhm.
make sure that we aren't flaring or under tucking. Good. Let's get 5 more and see where we're at with that.
Okay.
And squeeze, don't pull with your upper back. I want you to keep your eyes on the window, mirror. And then I'm going to change how you're moving a little bit. Drive up. That. See how your
Okay.
hips moved first?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Let's get a little arch connection through the foot. There you go. Good. How are we feeling? Better, worse, or same? Are we irritating or not?
There's a little bit of a pull there, not
Mm-hmm.
horrible, but I do feel it pulling on that left
Okay.
side just a little bit.
Okay. How much do you feel like your weight is evenly distributed or not between your feet?
Probably 55, 60 on my right, remainder on my left because I feel it pulling a little bit on my left, so I try not to, but I am.
Okay. We're gonna do a little bit of an eye drill. Can you see colors?
Yes.
Perfect. Not colorblind?
No.
Good. It's important to check that before you have somebody do this. Because if they can't even see what they're looking at, we're going to rub them. All right, you're going to put this string to the tip of your nose.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to hold this out. And the first goal is that we can be able to see orange in focus as close as we can get it.
Okay.
In focus, though. As soon as I move it and it becomes blurry or into a 2, it's too close. Okay?
Okay.
Let's start with that.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. About right there. That gets a little fuzzy right there.
We'll back you up
Yeah.
just a bit. Okay, we're going to evenly space the rest of our beads. And then I'm going to come right in front of you, make sure I'm not at a diagonal, and I'm going to try not to shake as much as possible. You are going to go from the orange to the green, to the yellow, the red, the blue. Make sure that they all become focused before you move back down the line one at a time.
Okay.
So start at orange.
Okay.
Once it's in focus, you'll go green,
Okay.
then yellow,
Then red.
then red, then
And
blue.
Okay.
Yep. Now go back to red,
Red,
yellow,
yellow,
green,
green,
orange. Okay, 3 more times. You got this. Take your time.
orange, green, yellow, red, blue, red, yellow, green, orange, orange,
Left eye, huh?
green, yellow, red, blue, red, yellow, green, orange.
Good. So your left eye, not as fast as your right.
Okay.
When you would start to converge, your left eye would almost leave and come back to try to figure that out.
Okay.
Let's try this a couple more times. Eyes on the mirror. We're breathing. Hinge to find the wall. Squeeze to come up. Good squeeze. That was a good squeeze up. That was hip led. Nice work. Check the weight between your feet. How are you feeling? We got 50-50 or are we still 60-40?
Not 60-40, but it definitely is just a shade more on this than here.
Shift over a tad bit. Just a shade, you know.
But my left leg gets a little tingly at that point.
When you shift over onto it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Give me that shade over there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get 10. Let's see how the tingle goes. Squeezing the glutes. Should be 100 on each cheek coming up. That seems to come in. Right now, it looks like a lot of your movement is coming from a flare versus one piece of the spine. Good. That's a flare. That's not what we want. Good. And up. Letting our body come down and up. Good. Checking the weight.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get 3 more. How's the tingling?
It's still just sitting there.
Not moving.
Mm-mm.
Up or down.
Not up or down, just sitting there.
Okay. And take a break. Okay, so we just finished your treatment session. We did a little bit of radio frequency, bringing that heat down into the leg, worked through the nervous system at the level of the sacrum and low back, which really enjoys moving through flexion and extension, and then finding that neutral position, stabilizing across those muscles to bring that numbness, tingling nerve sign back up towards the spine, which is the goal. We want it to centralize. From there, we also talked a little bit about things that you can be doing in a seated position when stuff starts to get aggravated to help find that neutral and diminish some of those signals, and how we can stabilize without any sort of equipment. working through your hinge again. From seated, we have a little bit of flexion extension in our pelvic tilt, but we need to be able to bend from the hips in a standing position, especially with the hard work that you do every day. So, coming in, you'd say you're about at a 4 or so.
Yeah.
Coming out, how are you feeling?
Probably 2.5 to 3.
Okay. So we've come down a little bit in that pain. Is it down in the foot or is it back up in the hip?
I feel it like a light tingly sensation all the way down
Mm-hmm.
to my ankle
Okay.
down there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tonight, how are you going to take care of yourself?
I will. I don't normally do too much after we've done this
Fair enough.
because,
Yep. It
but
is the evening time.
yes, but I will usually roll, as we've discussed. I'll
Mhm.
work on the front, stretching, rolling out on my front side of my hip and my quad,
Mhm.
then go to my back
Mhm.
side.
Try a couple more of those prone press ups
Yes.
today, especially before you go to bed, so you can get some good sleep without
Okay.
feeling things
Okay.
down the
So I'll
leg.
do those to get that. Sounds
Perfect.
good.
Any closing remarks on your end?
All good.
No? Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming in today,
No problem.
and I'll see you next week.
Next week.